Welcome to this edition of Ethical Sustainable Investment News and Analysis to Profit By. I'm Ron Robbins, an ethical investing pioneer for over 40 years, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, the Globe and Mail, and numerous other media, and founder of the highly respected global ethical sustainable investing information website, Investing for the Soul. And please listen to my disclaimer statement at the end of this podcast. Now enjoy this podcast. Hello, Ron Robbins here. Welcome to my podcast episode 160, published on October 24th, 2025, titled October 2025 Sustainable Stock and ETF Picks. This podcast is presented by Investing for the Soul. Investingforthesoul.com is your go-to site for vital global, ethical, and sustainable investing mentoring, news, commentary, information, and resources. Remember that you can find a full transcript and links to content, including stock symbols and bonus material, on this episode's podcast page at investingforthesoul.com/podcasts. Also, a reminder, I do not evaluate any of the stocks or funds mentioned in these podcasts, and I don't receive any compensation from anyone covered in these podcasts. Furthermore, I will reveal any investments I have in the investments mentioned herein. I have a great crop of 10 articles for you in this podcast. Note, some companies are covered more than once. The first article could provide you with several investing ideas. It's titled Sustainable Companies, 50 Top Investments for Sustainability on Investors.com. The introduction is by Anne Stanley. Here are some quotes from Ms. Stanley. The top ranks are filled with financial services, utility and consumer companies. To build IBD's 2025 list of the most sustainable companies, we started with Morningstar's US and global low carbon transition leaders indexes. The stocks had to have a price of $10 or more and sufficient data to create an IBD composite rating. We further qualified the list by removing stocks that did not meet or beat the S&P 500 in the past 5 years. We selected the companies with the highest IBD composite rating, or with scores of 80 or better. Finally, we ranked the companies by their Morningstar Sustainalytics Climate Management Score, using the IBD composite rating to break any ties. End quotes. IBD's top 5 companies for 2025 are Eaton, Bank of Montreal, Stantec, Lowe's, and TJX companies. This second article might seem a little unusual. To see why, here's the title: 10 Stocks and Funds that Benefit from China's Emissions Cuts, on Morningstar.com. It's by Leslie P. Norton. Some of the investments are Chinese, which might bother some people. Nonetheless, they will appeal to many others who follow this podcast. Here are a few quotes and some picks from the article. China has announced plans to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 7 to 10% from peak levels by 2035. This is the first time the country has committed to an absolute emissions target. In a video address to the United Nations, President Xi Jinping also said that China would boost wind and solar capacity sixfold from 2020 levels and increase the share of non-fossil fuels to more than 30% of total energy consumption. China will also accelerate its voluntary carbon market and carbon certificates, which companies can trade to offset their own emissions. Kathleen Collins, Head of Responsible Investing and Stewardship at Matthews Asia, says, with the increase in terms of focus on emissions reduction from intensity to absolute emission levels, more and more industries will come under the purview of the emissions trading scheme. According to Collins, the main beneficiaries will be battery storage systems, grid infrastructure upgrading, smart grid metering, energy management systems, environmental consulting, monitoring compliance, and of course the continued build-out of renewables and lean power. So stocks that could benefit from China's emissions cuts: Sungrow Power Supply Company Limited, Class A; Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited, Class A; China Yangtze Power Company Limited, Class A; China Longguan Power Group Corp Limited, Class A; Jinko Solar Holding Company Limited, DR; and Trina Solar Company Limited, Class A. For U.S. investors, funds that could benefit from China's emissions cuts: Crane MSCI China Clean Tech ETF, Invesco Solar ETF, iShares Global Clean Energy ETF, and there we are, end quotes. The data on the tables, which, when you look at the website of the podcast page, are by Morningstar as of 26th of September 2025. Now, for many ethical and sustainable investors, this next article adds a few new company names to consider. It's titled 3 AI Infrastructure Stocks Riding the Coming Power Crunch on finance.yahoo.com and is by George Budwell. Here are some quotes from Mr. Budwell. 1. herein Limited, that's IREN, has transformed its roots as a Bitcoin miner into a broader play on high-performance computing. The company is redeploying its energy-intensive infrastructure to support artificial intelligence, acquiring massive GPU fleets that include NVIDIA's B-series accelerators and AMD's new M13350X chips. That pivot is already showing up in the numbers. Revenue climbed 226% year over year to $187 million in Q4 fiscal 2025, while gross margins improved as higher value AI services began to supplement traditional mining. The stock has surged 326% year to date, reflecting investor enthusiasm, but the AI cloud segment is still in its early innings. The main risk is utilization. If customer demand doesn't keep pace, expensive GPUs could sit idle while fixed costs pile up. Still, Iran has so far executed well on its transition, positioning itself as one of the more credible emerging players at the intersection of compute and energy. 2. Applied Digital designs and builds AI-optimized data centers from the ground up. Its flagship Polaris Forge campus is planned to scale to 1 gigawatt of capacity, enough to power a small city. A marquee lease with CoreWeave validates demand for its high-density facilities, but the stock already trades at roughly 34 times trailing sales, far above peer multiples. That valuation captures both the upside and the risk. If Applied Digital delivers on schedule and secures high utilization at premium rates, early investors could see outsized gains. But construction delays, cost overruns, or permitting issues could quickly erode returns. The stock's sharp swings this year underline just how much speculation is embedded in today's price. And 3 is Poet Technologies, is targeting one of AI's hidden bottlenecks, the energy cost of moving data inside data centers. Its optical interposer platform uses light instead of electricity for chip-to-chip and rack-to-rack communication, aiming to cut power consumption while boosting speed. With a sub-$500 million market cap, the stock carries lottery ticket risk-reward. Meaningful upside if design wins materialize, but significant execution risk until revenues reach scale. End quotes. Now some picks from a regular to this podcast, Abhita Dutta. Her article is titled Shining a Light on 5 Clean Energy ETFs as we step into Q4 on finance.yahoo.com. It originally appeared on Zacks.com. Here are a few comments by Ms. Dutta on each one of her picks. 1. iShares Global Clean Energy ETF. This fund is the largest clean energy ETF, providing exposure to leading companies in solar, wind, and other renewable sectors worldwide. Sector-wise, renewable electricity constitutes 20.41% of this fund. It has surged 35.4% year to date. The fund charges 39 basis points as fees. 39 basis points is 0.39%. 2. First Trust Nasdaq Clean Edge Green Energy ETF. This fund focuses on U.S.-listed companies involved in renewable electricity generation, energy storage, electric vehicles, and those involved in emerging clean energy technologies. Sector-wise, renewable energy equipment constitutes 20.31%, and alternative electricity comprises 10.23% of this fund. It has soared 24.1% year to date. The fund charges 56 basis points as fees. 3. Alps Clean Energy ETF. This fund offers exposure to U.S. and Canadian companies involved in the clean energy sector, including renewables and clean energy technology. Sector-wise, solar forms 26.81%, electric vehicles constitute 22.45%, energy management and storage comprise 15.86%, and holds 12.22%, and hydro geothermal comprises 9% of this fund. It has surged 24.2% year to date. The fund charges 55 basis points as fees. 4. Invesco Wilder Hill Clean Energy ETF. This fund offers exposure to a broad range of U.S.-listed clean energy companies. Sector-wise, energy constitutes 3.78%, and utilities comprise 3.78% of this fund. Looks like the same there. I'm not sure if that's an error. But anyway, that's what we have here. It has surged 44.7% year to date. The fund charges 65 basis points as fees. 5. Fidelity Clean Energy ETF. This fund offers exposure to companies that distribute, produce, or provide technology or equipment to support the production of energy from solar, wind, hydrogen, and other renewable sources. Industry-wise, independent power and renewable electricity producers constitutes 22.54%, and electric utilities comprise 8.09% of this fund. It has soared 42.9% year to date. The fund charges 40 basis points as fees. End quotes. The last review article is titled Renewable Energy Stocks to Research on MarketBeat.com, and it's by MarketBeat analysts. Here are some quotes on their picks. These are the 7 renewable energy stocks to watch today, according to MarketBeat's stock screener tool. They had the highest dollar trading volume of any renewable energy stocks within the last several days. 1. WEC Energy Group. Through its subsidiaries, provides regulated natural gas and electricity and renewable and non-regulated renewable energy services in the United States. It operates through Wisconsin, Illinois, other states, electric transmission and non-utility energy infrastructure segments. 2. Quanta Services. Quanta Services provides infrastructure solutions for the electric and gas utility, renewable energy, communications, and pipeline and energy industries in the United States, Canada, Australia, and internationally. 3. Clearway Energy operates in the renewable energy business in the United States. The company operates through conventional and renewables segments. It has approximately 6,000 net megawatts of installed wind, solar, and energy generation projects, and approximately 2,500 net megawatts of natural gas-fired generation facilities. 4. Nove. Nove Inc. designs, constructs, manufactures, and sells systems, components, and products for oil and gas drilling and production, and industrial and renewable energy sectors in the United States and internationally. 5. HA, that's H-A, Sustainable Infrastructure Capital. Through its subsidiaries, engages in the investment of energy efficiency, renewable energy, and sustainable infrastructure markets in the United States. The company's portfolio includes equity investments, commercial and government receivables, real estate, and debt securities. 6. Gibraltar Industries manufactures and provides products and services for the renewable energy, residential ag tech, and infrastructure markets in the United States and internationally. 7. Ameresco, a clean technology integrator, provides a portfolio of energy efficiency and renewable energy supply solutions. It operates through U.S. regions, Canada, Europe, alternative fuels, and all other segments. End quotes. Now some more articles with sustainable investment picks for October 2025 from around the world that I couldn't cover here. 1. Title: NBIS versus MSFT. Which AI infrastructure stock is the smarter bet? On finance.yahoo.com by Vaishali Doshi. 2. Title: Could this overlooked infrastructure stock be the market's next multi-bagger on Fool.com by Harsh Chauhan. 3 title, Hub, that's HUBB, NEE, and XYL, Hidden Stock Winners in the Energy Transition on MarketBeat.com by Chris Markoch. 4 title, Is Now the Right Moment for Enphase Stock after the recent 6.7% rally on SimplyWall.Street by Simply Wall Street. And 5 title, Green Energy Gold Rush, 5 Best Clean Energy Stocks to Buy on TS2.Tech by Marcin Frankowitz. So these are my top news stories with the stock and fund tips for this podcast, October 2025 Sustainable Stock and ETF Picks. Please click the like and subscribe buttons wherever you download or listen to this podcast. That helps bring these podcasts to others like you. And please click the share buttons to share this podcast with your friends and family. Let's promote ethical and sustainable investing as a force for hope and prosperity in these tumultuous times. Contact me if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. My next podcast will be on November 21st. See you then. Bye for now. Learn how to create a simple portfolio reflecting your personal values by taking my 1-hour tutorial. Go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and click the link in the right-hand column for my DIY Ethical Sustainable Investing Pays tutorial. Now, I'll mention in the podcast if I have any direct interest or holdings in companies or securities I'm talking about. Furthermore, any news, opinions, analysis, or other information offered by myself, as well as references and information to or from other external sources in this podcast, is provided as general market information and should not be relied upon and thus does not constitute investment advice. Investors should consult their own licensed investment professional before making investments. Also, I will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on information in this podcast. Do contact me at ronr@investingforthesoul.com. Signing off, this is Ron Robbins.